Hello, welcome to the Opinionistics. I'm your host, John Milone, and no regulars, no co-hosts, whatever, because same old, same old. So, introducing from Chemainus, British Columbia, Canada, Joanna Vandervlucht.
Hello.
Hello there.
You
So,
said that last name really, really good.
oh, cool. So, tell me about yourself, Joanna.
Oh geez. Oh God. I'm an author and I say I'm an I don't want to say I'm an artist because I think of artists like Picasso and Leonardo da Vinci. I do illustrations with markers. Okay. So I like writing thriller novels. And when I'm not writing thriller novels, I'm actually now this year, New Year's resolution is starting a children's book. So I'm doing the illustrations slowly for a children's book, an idea I have.
Wow, fabulous.
Yeah.
And how long have you been working on that for?
Well, with being a thriller author, gosh, I was writing in like 1999, and then I took a break. Like I took like a 20-year break, and what ended up happening was just kind of life got in the way. And then I picked it up again. The writing, I got my manuscript from 1999, and I started rewriting it.
Fabulous.
And if you don't mind, I have to let my dog in the room, or else he's going to bark throughout this whole podcast.
That's all right, fair enough.
Okay, I'm listening though.
Cool, cool. So, so besides being an author, what else you have done in the past?
I'm sorry. What was that? Besides being an author?
Besides being an author, what else have you done in the past?
Oh gosh, I used to work at the prosecutor's office. It was the Crown Counsel office, and our law. Some of it's I don't want to say it's a mishmash, but it comes from UK law. And for instance, with my rewrites, um, we have what's called actually, and you probably do too, Queen's Counsel, which now with the passing of the Queen, it's now King's Counsel, right? So I used to be an assistant at the prosecutor's office, and that's where I get I'd say the inspiration for some of my thriller novels from. So yeah, I was a 33-year government employee, and when I had the opportunity to retire, I'm 50-ish. It's been neat. I've been able to pursue writing full time, which is something it was always a goal I wanted to work towards, and now it's here, right?
Hmm. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, What was your life like growing up?
Oh gosh, oh God, I was an average Canadian kid. You know, we, the US is south, right? And Canada has always been looked upon as like the boring country above the US. Um, I love this country, and I was so average. At one point, when I was small, I used to dislike reading. I really hated reading, and it wasn't until my sister got me hooked on the Bobbsey twins. That's when I started reading for enjoyment instead of like having to have to because I needed a good grade in school or something like that. So yeah, I fell in love with the Bobbsey twins novels, and that was a game changer because then as a child, in grade 7, I then wanted to write stories, and that's where it started. Like I've always always have been writing stories, and it got to the point where we'd go shopping and my mother would say to me as a kid, what are you plotting? Because she could tell that my brain was going nonstop, right? So yeah, and even then I did. I remember I put together with pencil crayons and felt pens. I put together a magazine. That's what I did one summer. That was my summer project. So I've always been drawing or writing stories or making up stories and that sort of thing. Yeah.
Hmm. Fabulous.
Yeah.
What's worth spending more on to get the best at?
It's the writing. It's the writing. The writing. That's a good question because I have asked that question of myself. What do I devote more of my time to? And I'd have to say it's the writing. It's nice to escape into a story. And for instance, today I met with a friend of mine who I used to work with at the prosecutor's office. And it's neat to talk to her about my character. And she knows that it's a character. Like my friend, she's going to Argentina in 4 weeks. So as soon as she said that, her and her husband are going, I thought, oh, keep me posted. Tell me what it's like. Cause already my gears are going. I'm thinking, gosh, I think my heroine Jade needs to go to Argentina. So it's cool. Yeah. Yeah. So I'd say I spend more time with the writing.
All right then. Sounds good. What's your favorite type of day?
Oh gosh. Okay. It's the extremes. I mean, I retired and it's crazy, because you think you have all these visions of what it's going to be like when you retire and that you could sleep in, you can wear your pajamas all day, you can, do whatever you want. And I found with Well, imagine it. 33 years you've worked for the government. You've checked into your morning. Your morning starts at 8 a.m. or it starts at 8:30. You get off at 4:30, okay? And I find it's the morning, and even though I'm retired, I am still setting an alarm clock at like 6:30 or 7 because I I still need that structure. And if I don't have that structure, I feel like it's a bad cliche, but it's like a fish out of water. I'm just kind of floundering. So I'd say it's the early morning. And in Canada, we will have daylight savings time in about 2 months, and it should be getting uh, brighter in the morning and staying brighter later in the night. So it's the other extreme of in the evening. Okay. And I think that's because that's also my best writing time is either early morning or late in the evening. And I know a number of authors who would agree with me that that's the best writing time for some reason. Yeah.
All right then. I can certainly see that. If you could see one movie again for the first time, what would it be?
Oh gosh. Oh, I just saw something too. Oh my god. Well, okay, there are two. Well, can I give you two? it's They're two very different movies. And I was thinking about this today when I was going to go meet my friend. It would be it's the one with Brad Pitt. Is it Benjamin Buttons? Where he ages in reverse. Okay. Um, just because that was a different movie. And now I just watched the other night, and this movie may not be for everybody. It just came out. I think it's Everything Everywhere, including now or starting now. I have. I just watched it the other night, and it made me laugh. It made me cry in the end. It's bizarre in some parts of it. Um, but it is a movie that I will remember. Okay, so Everything, Everywhere, and All at Once. That's the title. I think it is. Yeah.
Cool, cool. Hmm. If you were to start your own kind of business, what kind of business would it be?
Oh, geez, I've done that. I used to be a personal trainer and fitness instructor, and that was it's hard work. People don't realize the work that goes on behind the scenes. Um, but even now, I'm no longer a fitness instructor or personal trainer. I did that for about 10, 12 years. And I would do that again. Just uh, the best moment I had was when a client, she was so scared to come to the class. She came because her friend convinced her to come to one of my classes. And you know, I'm a bit of an introvert, believe it or not. And I saw her, and I saw some of me in her, of just she was so scared to try this class. She was so scared of failing. She was scared of, you know, looking like a fool. And she was almost at the point of tears. And I remember I went up to her, and she had said to me, she goes, I am so scared right now. And I reassured her. And I told her, just go at your own speed. And if you feel you can't do something, just keep the legs moving. Just walk on, just, march on the spot, walk on the spot. And I will never forget her. I'm still in contact with her because she blossomed. And she came to every class after that. And then, yeah. And then what was really cool is she would say to me how, after when I stopped, she had said she was going to go try another fitness class, and she goes, Joanna, I wish you were teaching it. So yeah, I would do that again. Yeah, I met some pretty cool people, and yeah, yeah, cool, normal, average people just like myself.
Okay, that's nice. If you were going to sail around the world, what would be the name of your boat?
Oh God, Josephine, that's what it would be named.
Hmm. Alrighty then. Sounds good. If your life was a meal, what kind of meal would it be?
Oh my God. um if my life was a meal,
Mm-hmm.
I would say, can we include desserts in there? Because I have a sweet tooth.
Yeah,
Um,
of course.
I just made 2 weeks ago a tiramisu. Yeah, you got the coffee in there. Yeah, yeah. That's what I would pick.
Hmm. Very interesting choice. I like it.
Mm. Tiramisu, and what else is in there? You can put some. What did I put in there? I put in, it was tiramisu and a liqueur. Yeah, that would be perfect.
Nice. What's the most interesting documentary you've ever watched?
Oh gosh, interesting documentary. Okay, it was during lockdown, and it wasn't, okay, this is going to sound, it's not as depressing as it's going to sound as I explain this, but it was about climate change. Okay. And this documentary, it was over, I think it was a series, like it was a mini series, and it showed what is happening to our climate, to our weather. And then it showed like how we can make things better. And I was so impressed when they were showing, and I'm not being biased here. I'm not Dutch. I married a man whose father was Dutch. Okay, I'm 100% Canadian, but they were showing what they were doing in Holland, and how they were growing, vegetables vertically, and it was fascinating what they were doing in Holland. And I just thought, God, even in my own country, we got to get on this ship, get on with what they're doing, because it was really cool. Yeah. So that I can't remember the name of it. I mean, it was about, gosh, 2 years ago, but I remember the documentary. Yeah.
Fabulous. That's very informative. Hmm. What's your favorite quote?
Oh God, I just saw one I used in my own podcast, and I was quoting David Bowie, and it was a long quote, and he was talking about creativity, and I can't repeat the quote, because like I said, it was in an interview, but basically what he was saying was that in terms of creativity, um, you can't play safe. You always have to push your boundaries. And there was he was talking about, if you jump in the water, or if you jump in a pool, you don't want to feel the bottom. And he said you need to push your limits, because when you push your limits, and you're basically, your feet aren't touching the bottom, that's when you can create your best work. And I thought it was an absolutely great quote. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, it sure is. What an inspiration. What's the most useless talent you have?
Useless? I hate cooking. I really do. I'll bake and make a tiramisu, or I'll bake a carrot cake. I am a huge fan of the Prue and Paul Hollywood greatest British Bake Off, and we have the greatest Canadian baking show here in Canada. Love those two programs. But if you were to ask me to like cook something for dinner, oh God, yeah, I think I'd order takeout. I have such a strong sweet tooth that yeah, the cooking, and it's not that it's useless. It's just I'm useless at it. Okay.
Hmm. I mean, the fact you're good at cooking is actually, as to some extent, very useful in life. Because if you know how to cook, you can properly feed yourself to survive in some way. Yeah, you know.
Yeah. Well, it's the cooking. I don't. I suck at cooking, but I will bake you one heck of a cake. Okay.
Okay, sounds good. What is something that most people consider to be a luxury, but you don't think you could live without?
A luxury. Okay. I'm going to get very serious on you here. Um, it's we have. I'm just going to say freedom. Um, I my friend and I drove down. I met her. We had a chat about everything. And as I'm driving down to visit my friend, I can't help but think of Ukraine. And how their lives have the people in Ukraine have just been destroyed, and that they're fighting, for their freedom. And I was thinking about how much sometimes that we just take what we have, like I joke that I suck at cooking, but I look at what I have. I have a roof over my head, I have clothes. I'm not worried about when I'm going to have my next meal. So I would say safety and freedom that I have. Yeah.
All right then, sounds good. What could you do a 40-minute presentation on without any preparation?
How to write a book. That yeah.
I
Yeah.
suppose that makes sense.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's what got me starting my own podcast, is just, yeah, just talking with authors. And I could, oh my God, I could talk your ear off about how to write a book. Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Fiction novel for sure.
Fabulous. If magic was real, what spell would you try to learn first?
Oh God, if magic was real. Uh, okay, I'm going to get serious again on you. Um, I saw this on Facebook. It was being shared around, and it was around the holidays. And that term, peace on earth. And yeah, and someone had made a comment that how even in these times we are still wishing for peace on earth. And if magic were real, that's the type of magic. That's something I would definitely want to know the spell for. Yeah.
Okay. Cool, cool. Do you think life is a simulation?
Life is in a simulation. Oh, geez. Um, no, no. Um, Having said that, though, I, no, I think I, how sometimes people will joke and say, "Oh, in a previous life, I must have done this." I like
Yeah.
to, I like to hold on to that idea. I would like to think that this life that we have now is not just it. Okay, I'd like to think that there's more. Okay, than just like one shot at life. Yeah. So
Okay.
would that qualify as an assimilation? I don't think so.
Okay, I can see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is the best way to start the morning?
I'm sorry.
What is the best way to start the morning?
Oh gosh, I would say walking your dogs. I have two dogs, and yeah, I have too many schnauzers. That's the first thing I do, and it doesn't matter whether I have bedhead or morning breath. Those dogs are incredible, and it gets me outside, and I have seen some amazing sunrises. Taking the dogs for a walk, and it's a way to kind of slowly wake up and kind of get your head thinking about what you want to do for that day.
Wow. Mind
Hmm.
blown. What card or board game do you like to play?
Mm. Actually, it was over the holidays we played Monopoly, and we didn't have the actual board. It was actually a lot of fun. It was Monopoly, and it was just the cards. So you can buy a Monopoly game, which is just the cards. And our daughters and my husband and I, we had a blast. And the thing with games is you may go in it thinking you're not competitive, but yeah, if you get a card that says, hey, give me, $300 or 300 pounds, yeah, you start to realize that, yeah, maybe you are a little competitive, especially if it's given to you by your spouse, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, do you have any other routines you try to do every day?
Well, writing is one. First thing in the morning, yeah, definitely. I write. In the evening, I try to write or read. Okay, given that I was a person who used to hate reading as a kid, um, I would say not. The other, I noticed I was happiest, and again, it ties into once being a fitness instructor and personal trainer. Um, it's exercising 4 times a week, and I would like to exercise more, but sadly, I'm not 25 anymore. And I just find I'm, I love running. I'm not a fast runner. I will never be approached by Adidas to advertise anything. But I noticed when I start running and I start it up again, it puts me in a definite better frame of mind. Yeah.
All right then. That's cool.
Yeah.
Do you like spicy food?
To an extent. Okay. Uh, yeah. We have a place where I live called Invitation Indian Cuisine, and they make some of the most amazing food and amazing flavors. And, but sadly, I can only order the mild. Yeah.
Hmm. Alrighty then. Sounds good, I
Mhm.
guess. What's something you tried really hard to like, but you just couldn't?
Oh, kombucha. Can't drink that stuff. Okay. Just cannot drink kombucha. I don't care how healthy it is. Can't do it. Yeah.
Ah, fair enough.
Yeah.
We always have that one thing that's like, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not vibing with it. I'm not vibing with it.
And matcha. I can't do a matcha latte. Just, yeah, can't do it.
Ah, yes, of course. Would you rather never age physically or never age mentally?
I don't want to age mentally. Now, is that did I ask? Did I? Is that what you asked? Whether if I wanted to age, not age physically or not age mentally?
Yes, that was the question.
Yeah, yeah. No, oh God, I don't. I'd rather my body age than my mind. Okay. Yeah, I really want to try to keep my mind sharp. Yeah,
All right then, sounds good.
yeah.
What sort of terrain would you thrive best in?
So the older I get, the more I want warm weather. Okay. I live in the mildest part of Canada where at one point we hardly got any snow. I remember I live on the far west coast, and I'd see every other province to the east of us would get below zero temperatures and would get snow. And I remember when I moved to Victoria, my brother-in-law, I walked into the garage and I was holding a snow shovel. And he looked at me and he said, "What are you doing with that? You don't need that here." Okay. And where I live now, people grow banana trees. And we just, in over the holidays, we had about a week of snow, and there was about a foot and a half. And I just thought, I'm done with it. Okay. I'm done with it. And I've been to Maui, and I just thought, yeah, Yeah, take me to Maui. Take me away from the snow. So the older I get, the more I want the warmth. Okay, and we get a lot of rain here. Supposedly not as much as the UK, but we do get a lot of rain. Yeah,
Yep, I totally feel you.
yeah.
And that is all we have for this episode. It was great having you, Joanna, talking about your works as an author, prosecution officer, and a lot of other things. It's been fabulous.
Great. Well, thank you. Thank you for taking the time out to, get this all scheduled. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. And
Okay.
until next time, stay opinionated.